Hey guys, welcome to Off the Beat. My name's Fabian, and today we're going to be talking about sidechain compression. Now it's quite difficult. Like, compression's pretty difficult to wrap your head around in the beginning, but I'm going to try my best to make it easy for you to understand, because I know how difficult it can be. So sidechain compression, what is it? It is basically when you have one signal, such as a kick drum or whatever you choose, but I'm going to say kick drum, that impacts another signal like a synth or a sub bass or something like that. So you can have the kick reduce the volume of the synth or bass when the kick hits. So let's listen to a synth that I have made here that has sidechain on it. So let's listen. Let's listen with drums. Now let's listen to this without the sidechaining. It's just flat the whole way along. So what this does is it gives your kick, or whatever element you want to sidechain, room to breathe. It gives it space around it so you can hear it for what it is without being muddied by anything else. So let's leave this one deactivated, and let's put a stock standard compressor onto this channel that I want to be sidechained. Okay, so we got the compressor here. To get to the sidechaining, you have to click this little down arrow and then click the sidechain button. Now sidechaining is activated. Now your audio from has to be your kick drum or whatever you want to manipulate this synth. So for me, I have my kick drum on my sidechain channel. You might have it on your kick channel, so you choose kick channel. Now let's jump into the compressor settings. So the threshold is basically how much gain reduction you want to happen. So let's listen to this, and I'll lower the threshold as we go. So you can hear that the more I lower it down, the more gain reduction happens. Now, the gain reduction is pretty much how much compression of the sound happens. Now, when you compress something, you can choose how much of that compressed signal you want to hear and how much you want to be removed. And you can choose that by the ratio. So with this setting, 2:1, for every 2 decibels that are compressed, you only hear 1 decibel. So let's lower this down all the way to 1:1. That means for every 1 decibel that's compressed, you hear that decibel. So that means nothing should happen. So let's listen. As you can hear, there was no difference to the signal at all. So let's go the opposite way. Let's go all the way to infinite. So this means that there shouldn't be any signal go through apart from that one. There shouldn't be any signal go through at all apart when the kick hits. You can hear it goes completely silent when that sidechaining kick hits. Okay, so for this example, I want to have a little bit of signal heard when the sidechaining hits. So I'm going to maybe go 5:1, lift up the threshold a bit. Okay, let's listen. You can hear that slight, just a tiny little bit of signal underneath that kick. So now the attack and the release. So the attack is how long does it take for the sidechain to reach the lowest level? That's basically what the attack is. And the release is once it reaches that lowest level, how long does it take for it to reach its normal level again? So I want this sidechain to happen pretty fast, pretty snappy. So I'm going to lower this down to maybe a couple of milliseconds. Let's go 10 milliseconds. And the release, I think I'm going to leave it about 50 milliseconds. Now these little buttons down here, they just change the view of your compressor. So this is showing you the knee of the compressor, and then this is just showing you, giving you a visual representation of the compression happening.
So as you can see, it's a very steep attack and then a very fast release as well. But there's a little curved bit down the bottom that I don't like. That means my compression isn't happening clean. So in order to get rid of that, I want to. That's happening because my kick drum is probably too long for the compression to happen fast. So it's compressing a long signal, and I want it to compress a short signal. Now, one way to do this is to add a high pass filter to the incoming signal of your kick. So that means I want to cut out all of the low frequencies of my kick and just have that snappy, clicky bit at the start that sidechains my synth. So click the high pass filter here, lift up your frequency until you start seeing that really sharp compression line. There you go. Okay, let's leave it at that. That's looking really nice and clean. Nice sharp line. Okay, so let's listen once again with drums. Chuck the bass in there as well. Fuck it, let's go the whole track. Without. So you can hear the sidechaining makes quite a bit of difference, especially in the mixing stage. It just makes things makes your song easier to keep clean. There's a whole bunch of other ways that you can do sidechain compression. I'll show you one more very fast because I don't want to make this video too long. So deactivate that compressor, grab a utility, drag it onto the same channel. Let's click the gain section here. Click A to open up our automation lane. Let's make this bigger so we can see it here. Now, I'm pretty sure as a kick here. Solo this. Sorry. And what you can do is you can actually drag the volume down like this. Put a nice little curve on there. Now, that line there, what's that look like? Looks the same as our compressor line. So it's doing the exact same thing, but you're just doing it manually. Let's copy this. What are you doing? I go here, I go here. I think that's what kicks are. Exactly the same thing as the compressor, but you're just doing it manually. Okay, so I hope that's helped you understand a little bit more about compression and sidechain compression and exactly what it does. I know it confused me for a really long time, but when I got it, it actually really improved my my production quite a lot and just helped me understand compression more. So if you want these project files, these complete Ableton project files, then just give me a subscribe and comment down below saying that you want these project files, and I'll email them to you directly. So that's everything, and I'll see you on the next one.